Also, yesterday, I picked up the Jose Canseco book, and I had very low expectations, but naturally they were selling tons of copies and all. Took it home. It's a really good book. It's really, I mean, not like the guy's a fabulous journalist or anything, but I mean, it's there's enough spilling. It just does not smell like an absolute pile of BS. It sounds very genuine. I'll just have to.
So he's spilling
some examples. Yeah, he's spilling some really good stuff. Which I'd be very pissed if I were another baseball player. I mean, he's really breaking the code there.
Yeah.
But it's very well done. I was surprised at how good it was, and covers the kind of areas that people are naturally intrigued by. So definitely want to dig into that. I mentioned at the open, I got the Canseco book. Wow, big, good stuff. I mean, the whole Madonna thing. I don't know if you remember when. All the papers.
Oh, she did have a fling with him, didn't she? Yeah, I remember that.
Front page, all the New York papers of him coming out of her place at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I totally remember that. Absolutely. Long time ago.
I have to say, that is one of the more interesting 8 pages of the book.
Does he reveal what a skank she is?
Yes.
Excellent.
He does not hold back, and
good.
It's funny. I don't hate him as much as I did. It's really weird because I didn't think this book was going to change my feelings about him one way or the other. But I don't know. I guess I like it when people are honest. I appreciate honesty, and he's very straight ahead about it. And I think I understand the whole steroid thing a little better now too. Although he was considered the godfather of steroids.
So he admits to using steroids?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. He admits to being the first big user of steroids.
Yeah.
And in the book, there's a picture of him before he used steroids. And
once again.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the difference.
See, the first time I ever saw him, he was huge. Mm-hmm. So I never noticed any difference.
Yeah.
But, oh, boy, is there a difference.
Does he talk about other players like Barry Bonds and McGuire and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, he talks about McGuire a lot. I got to tell you, Mark McGuire must be very unhappy.
I'll bet.
Let's see.
So are you saying, are you more sympathetic towards the steroids? You're more forgiving about it? Or
I just think I understand what was going on. Once
with him or with everybody?
Well, with everybody, I would say. You see all these other guys doing it, and you're going, oh boy, I got to compete with these people doing steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's okay. I'm still totally against it, and I think it's wrong and all. But I can see a little better how it happened, how we got here, and the only people to blame are the people that run the sport of baseball for not doing something about it.
Well, who was the first clown that decided that he was going to cheat because he couldn't do it with his natural ability and try to beat all the records and all the old timers?
That really started in bodybuilding.
Who started the ball?
That really started bodybuilding a long time ago.
Yeah, but who took it into baseball and decided that they would do things?
I think Canseco is one of the first, no question, if not the first. And I don't give him any medals for that. No way
because that's
around it.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, when these other guys started finding out what one of his little secrets was, it was Katie bar the door, as Mickey Redmond says.
Yeah.
And coming up, we'll feed you something from the Canseco book, which, as I mentioned, if you weren't here at the outset of the show, I think this is a really good book. I think if you're a baseball fan and you're sort of interested in this story remotely, well, maybe not remotely, but if you're interested, I think you'll find this a very good read. He gives it all up, and he even says good things about people, too. Just to give you an example, he is amazed by Roger Clemens and the fact that Roger Clemens has never cheated on his wife. Mm-hmm. He just goes on and on about, God, I can't believe Roger Clemens. I've been out with him at night. Women hit on him all the time, and he turns them away. The hottest chicks you could ever imagine.
Yeah, he can't.
He's got them just rolling in his hand, and his wife should be very proud of him. Blah blah blah. So it's not all negative. I can't think of a million positive things he said, but that one kind of stood out. I tell you what's hard to take in this book is he talks about how important fitness is and how into it he is, and how great his ass is and stuff like that.
For God's sake.
It's so weird hearing a guy talk about his body so much.
Oh, God. So all of a sudden this tremendous ego just bleeds over.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Oh, Jesus.
And Madonna at one point once she's talking to him on the phone. They haven't even met yet. She just knows he's this superstar, and she all of a sudden looks at him and says, that looks like a good genetic, possible father for my baby. Remember she wanted to have a Latin?
Yeah, absolutely. Parent. She was looking for people to donate.
So she asks him about his body. And
he was more than willing to tell her all about it.
No,
especially his ass.
He got the A's trainer. He put on some of those real tight baseball sliding shorts and took a picture to send to her.
Oh, for God's sake!
I could not believe he admitted to that.
Wow! Oh God, is that sick? What
it was
dork! What
quite nauseating.
I gotta tell you, that's pretty. Oh God!
He also has a thing about, for example, he at one point says everything that was ever written about him that was negative was written by white reporters, that the minority reporters never took him down.
Yeah, right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so
sounds like he's got a streak in him that's really a drag.
He's nothing close to perfection. But again, a good read. And boy, I tell you, there's some big names he's talking about in this book, and he's very specific on some of the things. I know Mike Wallace made him look bad a few times, but I think there's, I don't know, did you guys get the feeling there was any truth to this book, or do you think it was total BS?
Well, that's true. Sure. I thought there was a lot of truth just because looking at their numbers, the stats, and how those people have changed over the years.
True. There's no question some of the people he's talking. Juan Gonzalez, I didn't realize this. Juan Gonzalez was not a big guy at all, and Juan Gonzalez was patrolling left field at like 255. Canseco claims at one point, he said around the early 2000s, I think, that Gonzalez had gone from like a 185 kind of guy to 255, and he claims that he didn't know when to stop.
How long did it take you to grow that mustache?
I mean, he made it sound like Juan Gonzalez was the worst steroid abuser he knew. That's the impression I got. I don't know, but...
And eyebrow plucker.
Oh, he was an eyebrow plucker. No question. He loved his look. I think we should start to dig into this Canseco book. I tell you, I really, really think there's a lot of truth in this book. I just don't think you'd make this kind of stuff up. I think you'd see lawsuits all over the place. Not just threatened lawsuits, real lawsuits for some of the stuff being said in this book. But we'll let you judge for yourself. We'll read you some passages coming up. By the way, remember when baseball players got nailed for pocketing card show money? And a bunch of them got IRS. In fact, Rose went to prison. And a few other guys served some time, too. Maybe Strawberry. Do you remember that, Mark?
No.
These guys were doing card shows, and they were just pocketing the cash. They weren't declaring it on their income tax.
Yeah, that's right. Like in the last year or so, or a couple of years ago?
3-4 years ago, something in that neighborhood. Yeah, it could be 2 years ago. I don't know. Anyway, Canseco acknowledges doing that in this book, and I'm thinking, are you aware of the IRS, pal?
Go back and go after that.
Why would he be spilling that in this book?
Don't they have 7 years to... Well, how many years do they have?
I'm trying to remember because as I was just describing that, I was thinking the very same thing. What was the context there?
Yeah.
But I have a feeling he has done some card shows in the last 7 years because this guy is so desperate for money.
Yeah.
He was selling the right to spend the day with him for $2,500 online. How pathetic is that? And a lot of people feel that this book is equally pathetic. I don't know. I'm not big on these tattletale types. I mean, I don't like that. He's clearly bitter. He's angry because he was really at the tip-top of this game, and his reputation was horrible. He will not make the Hall of Fame, I don't think. This book will certainly terminate that possibility. Even though he's got the number of home runs he has, I think there might be 2 or 3 people above him who aren't in the Hall of Fame. One would be Sammy Sosa, who's still playing. There's a couple other guys who are still playing who aren't in there. But
he have 400?
He's 462. And I thought he had a little something left in his game when he retired, too, but I don't think anybody wanted to mess with him. I think they were fed up with him.
What did Kingman end up with?
Kingman had 442, I think. Kingman, I think, was the first guy to have that many homers to not get in.
Okay.
Yeah. And he played in a period where... 30 homers was a big deal.
I liked watching him.
I loved Kong. When Kong was with the Cubs, I was a lifelong Cubs fan. When he was with the Cubs, man, he used to just cream that thing over the the wall, over the fence, on the WGN building there in left field. Did he hit some shots?
Remember the Tigers had Tettleton and Rob Deere? It was almost the same thing. And they home run or nothing. And Cecil was with that team.
That was a badass lineup in the mid-'90s. Yeah. When Ellis just bought the team and he re-signed all Travis and Cecil and all those guys. Yeah, that was a mean... Yeah, Rob Deere could hit some
Deere
great
hit
home
like
runs.
215 but have 40 home runs.
And strike out 182 times.
Yeah. Those teams are fun to watch.
They were. Tettleton was a great ball player. I liked him a lot. What a
Mickey
switch
Tettleton?
hitter. Mickey Tettleton. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Switch hitter.
Yeah.
Switch hitting catcher. Rare commodity. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with something out of the Canseco book. You ready for a little Jose Canseco?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, my
Let her
God.
rip.
This guy. Whew. What a partier.
Cut it out, Canseco.
Once I'd established myself with the MVP award in '88, I found out that Madonna was as interested in meeting me as I was in meeting her. Of course, I found that intriguing. She heard about me through her publicist who checked me out one day when I was playing against the Giants. You got to meet this guy, her publicist told her. By then, she decided she wanted to have a baby, specifically with a Latino man.
Oh, God. Isn't that weird how Madonna was searching the world for product?
Yes.
God, that was bizarre.
She had developed an infatuation for Cubans, all Cubans, and she put out the word she was going to look out for interesting Cuban men to meet. Somehow representatives contacted each other. Right away, all these rumors started flying. She wanted to meet me. Even though at the time I was still married to Esther. Who am I? I kept asking myself, this athlete's going to meet Madonna? But I did want to meet her. I was sure it would be interesting. So when the A's headed off to Anaheim on a road trip, I decided to go see Madonna. I took my agent at the time. We drove up into Hollywood Hills the day of the game to meet her and get acquainted. I parked in front of her house, honked the horn. Anyway, she finally comes out and takes him inside. And first thing she says is, "Does your agent follow you around everywhere?"
Oh, I can picture that.
Kid, isn't that so Madonna?
So see her saying that.
No, I said. So Jeff just sat there on the couch. Madonna gave me a tour of the house. We walked around a few minutes, wound up in her bedroom. Right away, she walked over, closed the drapes. I knew she had something in mind, but I didn't know what. "Sit down," she said. So I sat down. Who wouldn't? She hit the remote control on her VCR and started showing me parts of Truth or Dare, her documentary, which hadn't hit the theaters. I think you can guess which scene she showed me. It was the famous masturbation scene on that big bed.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I was thinking to myself. My eyes were glued to the TV, but eventually I realized she was watching me even more closely. So anyway, they go around... she's such a bitch, though. Like, this is the first time she's met him. He's got this big diamond ring. You know, he's a jewelry nut shake. "Why do you wear that big diamond ring?" she asked, looking down at the 6-carat diamond ring I had on. "Do you feel you need more attention than you already get?" "No," I told her. "I just like jewelry."
Oh, God, again, I can so imagine her saying that.
I know, she's so obnoxious.
She's so abrasive.
Anyway, they go on back and forth. This goes on for a little while, and she starts calling the clubhouse. It's funny. She learns his schedule, his every minute of his schedule, and she literally starts calling him on clubhouse phones all over the American League.
Oh, man.
Using the code name Melissa. The entire A's team knew exactly who it was.
Of course they knew.
"Melissa's on the phone."
I know. Why even have the stupid code name?
But isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That she sounds like almost a stalker.
Well, she wants to make a big splash, and, you know, I'm sure she realizes it's turning the whole place upside down.
She was calling me every day, wherever I was. She was amazing. She knew exactly what my schedule was and exactly where I was. "Jose, Melissa's on the phone," one of my teammates would say, whether she was calling or not. For a while, Madonna and I would talk just about every day, although I have to say it was always kind of strange. I wouldn't say we really got to know each other. Usually she just called to ask about my schedule when we could see each other. She never asked about baseball or anything related to that. She never talked about her own work or career. She would just ask me questions about my marriage to Esther, details of our separation, and would try to figure out a time when we could be in the same city so we could meet again. She doesn't fool around. She's a woman who knows what she wants, goes after what she wants, and for a few weeks that year, she decided that I was what she wanted. I was Cuban. I was a superstar baseball player. She liked the way I looked. She never got a good look at my body when I visited her home in California, and on the phone, she kept asking me a lot of questions about different parts of my body.
Oh, brother. Well, we can only guess.
So I had the A's team photographer take a shot of me wearing nothing but tight riding shorts and sent that to her.
Oh, God. Nice asking that guy to in that position to take a picture of your butt.
Can you believe he'd send a picture like that, though?
I can't believe he would send it, and I can't believe he would ask another man to do such a thing.
It looks nice, she said. I didn't ask what she meant by it. The rumors got heavier and heavier. For some reason, there was an awful lot of curiosity about what happened between Madonna and me. I was the bad boy of baseball. She was the bad girl of music, blah, blah, blah. That May, the A's went on the road for a series against the Yankees, and when I arrived at our hotel in Manhattan, I gave Madonna a call over her penthouse overlooking Central Park. So why don't you come up to my apartment? She asked. I've got to see you. I took a taxi over. I realized as soon as I got out of the cab, there were paparazzi out in front of her apartment building. She also, I wonder if she called the paparazzi.
Probably.
You know?
Probably. I think that goes on more often than anyone realizes.
Her security guard was standing in front of the building. Hey, I'm Jose. Yeah, I know who you are. Come on. So as I'm walking past toward the elevator, I can hear people talking in the background. Wasn't that Canseco? But this time she didn't play any videos. We talked for more than an hour and a half, and then she came and sat on my lap. You want to kiss me, don't you? She asked. No, I told her. After a while, I kissed her anyway, and we made out for a while. As curious as I was, though, I just wasn't that into her. She was pretty, but not really my type. To be honest, I didn't find her attractive enough.
Well, she's really not that pretty at all. No. Never has been.
And if you see the girls that he lands who are in the pictures in this book, Madonna doesn't hold a candle.
No, I mean, Madonna's never been a pretty woman by any stretch of the imagination.
As I sat there with her, I realized I was infatuated with the idea of it more than anything. There was no real chemistry. I left the apartment that night, went downstairs. It was late, maybe 2 in the morning, but the paparazzi were everywhere. None of them got past the huge security guard, but there was more than 100 of them standing there behind him. And as I walked out, all the cameras were flashing. It was insane, like a show at a dance club. I woke up the next day, and there it was, the headline on the back cover of the New York Post, Madonna's Bat Boy. They had a picture of me walking out of our apartment building. Before I knew it, everyone was talking about it. Up at Yankee Stadium, I was playing the outfield. Fans were going nuts, throwing coins, batteries. Somebody even threw a bullet at me.
Oh, jeez.
The next day, Madonna and I talked again, and this time she got down to business. I want you to leave your wife, she told me. I want you to be with me. We can get married. To be honest, I didn't know what to think. She heard me hesitate and couldn't believe it. What's the problem, she asked. Why don't you leave your wife? Are you worried about the money? You're not going to have to worry about money if you divorce her. Don't worry about that. I got money for both of us. I'll never forget that. I was thinking to myself, damn, she's pretty impressive. But the news of my visit with Madonna in New York was causing me all kinds of trouble. When Esther, he was separated from his wife, heard about it, she went berserk. Even if you're separated, no girl wants you to be dating someone else. I can't believe what you did, she screamed at me over the phone. I wish I could make her believe the truth. The whole thing with Madonna was just a friendly deal. I never had sex with her, never.
Is that right?
Nope.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
And the only reason I believe him is because he totally admits to having sex with people. He admits to having sex with hundreds of people.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. The fact that, for him to say that he didn't is just by virtue of makes it believable.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure that she wanted everyone to believe that the reverse was true.
God,
I'm sure of that.
He tells this cool story, too. Have you ever been to South Beach?
No, you know what? That's one place I've not been to in Florida there. No.
Very cool place, a little overcrowded.
I know everything about it, though.
Very cool.
I know what it looks like, what it's about, all of that. I just haven't been there.
There's this really ritzy place that's just, I think, north of there, or it's actually inland from South Beach, called Star Island.
Okay.
And it is the rich, like Rosie O'Donnell has a house there.
Yeah.
Madonna had a house there. So anyway, Jose had a place there, too, or was staying there. I can't remember which. But anyway, he had 2 boats on his... Yeah, he had a place. He had 2 boats on his dock. One a speedboat that could do 115 miles an hour.
Oh, jeez.
Madonna and I were talking on the phone. She said, come and get me. I'm living at Star Island. I'm probably 15 minutes away from you. So I got in my boat to go pick her up in the dock and headed off towards Star Island until a helicopter I saw a helicopter above me. It started following me, and I could see a camera pointed down at me. I had this boat going 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
Probably 110, and I just couldn't shake this helicopter, so I had to call Madonna and tell her what was happening.
Look at that setting, will you? Isn't that amazing when you think about that? The money and everything else.
I know. That's what I really enjoyed about this book. That was what was so fun about reading it. The cars.
Wow. It just takes you away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Can't you imagine that unbelievably beautiful house, I'm sure, and going down to this dock, and that's that boat sitting right there, that cigarette, whatever it may be. That's your boat.
Well, he's trying to shake a helicopter. He's got a boat that goes 110 miles an hour.
I know it. And you're hauling ass over the water out to Madonna. You got her number, the cell phone. I mean, how just surreal is that?
Well, he never ends up going because he said he couldn't shake the helicopter.
That chopper,
so he blows her off, and that's the end of it.
And that's the end of it?
Yeah, that's the end of it.
Sounds like an F.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Jose Canseco stars in Miami Vice. Yeah, can't you
With
just
the pajamas on.
He has that look, too. I could see him wearing with the Don Johnson type suit.
Why was it the end of the Madonna thing there, I wonder? I mean, she didn't want that helicopter.
He did not want a banger.
Yeah. But
and
why did he go out there to begin with, or even start to go out there to begin with?
He was going to go see her. I don't know. I think he was going to go see her, but he was not going to have the paparazzi nail him like that again and have his ex go nuts on him because he was kind of thinking about getting back with her.
And I think she likes that, too, if you ask me. You know what I mean? She likes to... sure. And the fact that she has power over the other women and all that. I think that's a big part of that.
Well, telling
a lot
him
of
to
women.
leave her, I mean, what kind of sane person does stuff like that?
Sure. She wants to know that she can control him, that she has that kind of power over him to make him leave her.
You know who he really rags on in this book is Alex Rodriguez, for one, and he doesn't talk about steroids, but he just talks about how politically correct he is and that he's not what everyone thinks he is, and that he kind of implies that, well, one of these days you're gonna know I'm telling the truth here, but he's not everything he makes himself out to be. And then he also rags on Cal Ripken Jr. and talks about how Cal Ripken Jr. Stayed at a separate hotel from the rest of the team. Took a separate car from the team bus, never traveled with the team, and that there were people on the Orioles who resented it, but you couldn't speak out against
another
Cal
Kobe Bryant thing.
Kind of, yeah. More like an A-Rod. Well, A-Rod did the same thing. He had his own plane. So
the man of 1,000 stances leads off, rips one, goodbye. Ripken homers in his final All-Star game.
I wonder if Chan Ho Park grooved that on purpose. That seemed almost too perfect, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did.
Anyway, Ripken, no, he hit, at that point in his career.
In that game.
In that game, it seems to me he was up in the first inning, because I think it was the first inning. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think he hit leadoff, because he was slow at that point.
Yeah.
But anyway, I kind of, again, it's one of those things where I sort of went, you got a point there, Jose. That is kind of crap. Who's this guy think he is? I mean, it is the beginning of this sort of, people don't have to be necessarily team-oriented or do all the same things the other guys do. I don't like it when people separate themselves like that, like Kobe Bryant does, or... Anyway, he definitely does not like Alex Rodriguez, though. There are a lot of negative remarks about him, and I'm not sure I understand exactly what he's getting at, but I wonder if the guy's like a sleazebag, like he bangs everything inside, or and he's married, or he's late. I don't know what his problem is with Alex Rodriguez. He's very unspecific, but let's see, moving on.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is exactly. I was the godfather of steroids. I was the first to educate other players about how to use them, the first to experiment and pass on what I'd learned, the first to get contacts and where to get them. I taught other players which steroid has which effect on the body, how to mix or stack certain steroids to get the desired effect.
Oh, boy. So he's the one. He opened up the can.
This is right when he was traded to Texas, and the rumors were all over the place. And at this time, interestingly enough, George Bush was the general managing partner of the Texas Rangers, who traded for Jose Canseco. So in a way, he says when Bush said that in the State of the Union address, he said he about fell out of his chair because he knew that Bush knew he was doing steroids when he traded for him. So he was like, what is this steroid thing? He knew I was on steroids. He goes on to say Palmeiro, Gonzalez, and Ivan Rodriguez all started asking me a lot of questions about steroids soon after I joined the Rangers. After I'd given them a little schooling, they told me all that they wanted to give them a try, so I got them each to supply through my contacts, helped them get used to the injection process. None of them at that point wanted their wives to know about it. They'd bring their steroids to the ballpark. I would inject them there the same way I used to inject McGuire back at the Oakland Coliseum.
God, so there it is. He turned it loose, man. He turned it loose on the league right there.
That was pretty typical of most players, not wanting people to know, their wives especially. So we'd go into the bathroom stalls or the video room or a back room where you could find a closed area to do the injecting, and I would show them where to make the injection on the glute muscle. Rafi, Juan, and Ivan were definitely scared the first time I injected them, but after a while it became no big deal. And throughout my time on the team, they were mostly a combination of growth hormone and steroids, mostly Deca and Winstrol, but with a small dose of testosterone. Combining water-based and oil-based steroids that way, They needed 2 separate needles, too. They didn't take any pills.
Yeah, God, that stuff it weakens my knees, all that needles and...
Yeah, I know. I couldn't do that.
All that weird mix.
All 3 of them saw gains in size, too. Rafi, who's naturally stocky, made a reasonable gain in size and weight. Juan Gonzalez, on the other hand, got bigger and bigger and didn't know when to stop. Eventually, he got all the way up to 255 pounds. He was very lean when he first started playing baseball in the major leagues, so when he started getting up to that size, it was too much, especially since he was playing the outfield. I myself never got over 250, and I'm taller than Juan Gonzalez at 6'4". Before long, other players from all around baseball world saw what was going on with me and my buddies in Texas, how strong we all were, how our strength was helping us perform, and soon these players were coming up to me and asking me, hey, what about steroids? It wasn't something you spoke about with just anybody. But by then it was an open secret amongst players. If they wanted to know about steroids, they knew who to ask. Not everyone hunted me down for advice. Some wanted to know, some didn't. But one thing I should make clear, no one ever gave me grief for what we were doing with our bodies. I never saw or experienced any tension among players about steroid use. That I entirely believe.
Mm-hmm.
I totally believe.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Hey, they like the results, you know?
Oh,
they like what it's doing for them.
Care to hear about the women?
Sure.
Here's something you probably don't know about Roger Clemens. He's one of the very few baseball players I know who's never cheated on his wife. I was amazed by him. His wife should be proud of him. You see, all these other guys, oh my God, every chance they get, they'd be hitting in strip clubs. They'd have extra girls staying in the team hotel, one room over from their wives, so they could go back and forth from room to room if they wanted.
Wow.
They'd have their choice of women in damn near every city imaginable. Roger was the exception. I went out with him a bunch of times when there were beautiful women around. He had a lot of opportunities and never took them. I was with him enough times to realize this man never cheated on his wife. He was one of the rarities, the anomalies in baseball. I can hardly think of anyone else who never cheated on his wife. I wish I could count myself as an exception, but I can't. Sex is a big part of the game. The main reason is that it's just so easy to find. Wherever baseball players go, women want them. The women let the players know they want them and make themselves available. I truly believe if it weren't so easy, 60% of baseball players wouldn't cheat at all, but it's just made too easy for us. We're men, we have egos and libidos, and that's a tough set of forces to combat. The women I was involved with were always drop-dead gorgeous. You just couldn't turn them down. You never lost any love for your wife at home, but men are men, and many of us want something different than our wives back home. It's human nature. Even if your wife is spectacularly beautiful and you're truly in love with her, men can cheat at times without having it mean anything at all. The only problem is when you find a girl, realize you really like her, and start to have a real relationship. That kind of thing tends to damage your marriage.
Yeah, right.
When I was out on the road, men I'd never met before were trying to hook me up. On 2 different occasions, I went to do a card show, and at the end, when they were supposed to be paying me, one of the organizers pulled me aside and made me an offer. Jose, for your payment, you can have sex with my wife, and I'll watch.
Whoa!
I'll take the money, I said.
Wow, jeez. And I'll watch. Oh, jeez.
Listen to this one. But I was no prince. Sometimes when I was down in Anaheim hanging out in my hotel suite with a few friends and business associates, we'd organize beauty contests with 20 or 30 girls. We'd have these great-looking women all gathered in the suite, and we'd parade them around in bathing suits as we played the part of judges with an elaborate rating system and everything. Based on those ratings, we'd choose the top 15, and then later, after the game, we'd take all 15 with us in a limousine to hit some clubs. People used to like to come out to the ballpark just to watch me during batting practice. When People magazine named me one of the 50 most beautiful people, I just laughed, but I think it was because they saw me as an entertainer, too. I was a novelty, 6'4", 240. I could run the 40 and 4.3. Did I sleep with a lot of those women? Sure I did, but I'm not talking about outrageous numbers of women. He then goes on to say, like, maybe 200 or 300.
200 or 300? Yeah. Oh, is that all?
Well, he claims, comparatively with other people in the sport, not a big deal.
Good God.
Strip clubs were very popular. You had plenty of money for tips and drinks. You didn't have to think twice about it. And people usually don't bother you in a strip club the way they would in a regular bar. There are always sex acts going on in the strip clubs. Any player could get BJs. Plenty of them had sex with strippers. I never had sex in a strip club myself, not in any way, shape, or form. I may have found a girl there, but I was always too scared there'd be cameras around to try anything. It was much better to hook up with a beautiful stripper and take her back to your place. As I mentioned, I happen to have a specific taste for women who are very fit. I'm in great shape, and I've maintained my body, so I enjoy people who stay in shape, too.
Oh, God.
I know.
Oh, how nauseating.
Yeah, nauseating.
Yeah, jeez.
Let's see. There was a code among baseball players about how you got away with things on the road. We always looked out for each other. Let's just say I went out, I'd bring home 3 or 4 women back to the hotel, call up my friends in the team. Hey, meet me in the room. I got 3 or 4 girls. I can't handle them all. Can you come and help me out? Usually these girls travel in packs, so you make sure her girlfriends would hook up with your baseball buddies. Most of the time, I'd have a big suite. We'd have some fun. The guys would disperse, going back to their own rooms with 1 or 2 women. Sex is such a big part of life on the road. Baseball players have some techniques and habits most people don't know about. Here are a few. He talks about players swapping wives. Big time.
Wow.
Big time.
Well, we hear about some of those players out there that love other guys' wives, but now if they're swapping them around, God almighty. I guess it's boredom. It's just a wild lifestyle. Everybody's on the road and everybody's crazy But, man, swapping wives?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's pretty far out.
Now, Fritz Peterson and Mike Kekich actually did swap wives in the 70s. And that was public. That became known publicly. They had acknowledged that. But he's talking about a lot of people that, would surprise us. You've heard a story. There was a story, and I'm pretty sure this one's true. I'll leave the name out, but a pretty well-known second baseman, Caucasian, was witnessing the birth of his child, and an African-American child came out. Yes, indeed. And he promptly left the birthing area and asked for a trade. Because he knew it was a teammate.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that'd be kind of tough. That might be a little tough. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
He says a lot of the wives would stay out and party. When the players went back, the wives would sleep with their teammates to get back at them for what they knew they were doing on the road.
Yeah.
That was kind of a, hey, touche sort of deal.
Yeah.
Then Jose talks about slump busters.
Slump busters?
Yeah. When a guy's in he's having a bad hitting streak, he's talking about if I'm 0 for 40.
Right.
Baseball player believed the superstition that if you slept with a really ugly girl, it could get you out of your slump.
That would be the slump buster?
Yeah, that's a slump buster.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, jeez. Who's the smart ass that started that up?
It sounds like Mark Grace.
Oh, jeez.
It could be
what
a woman
a bummer.
Was big or ugly or a combination of both. One manager I used to play for described a slump. I'm not sure if we want to
I don't
get
think
too
so.
far with that. Mark Grace defined a slump buster as the fattest, gnarliest chick you can uncover and
gnarly
lay the wood to.
Yeah.
However you slice it, it was bound to be unpleasant.
Gross.
Sometimes players use the slump buster line as an excuse. If other teammates started razzing them, hey, we saw you with a girl last night. Man, was she ugly? The player would say, hey, she was a slump buster.
Yeah. But then the guy could say, oh, wait a minute, man, you're hitting such and such. What are you talking about?
But as often as not, I think the player just couldn't do any better. There were some players who believed in the power of a slump buster. They were ready to try everything they could to get out of a slump. If that's what it took, they'd go and find out. Then the next section is on road beef.
Then you have the chubby chaser who just says it's preventative medicine.
Road beef. This one's pretty simple. Any girl you meet on the road and had sex with is referred to as road beef. I wouldn't say the term had any special meaning or special connotation. It just meant a piece of meat, a piece of ass for a player to enjoy while he's away from home.
Jeez.
Then he uses the term import. What's an import? Let's say you got a hankering for your favorite road beef, one of your quality girls. If you decide you want to see her before you're scheduled to be in her town, you pay for a plane ticket and fly her in. That way you spend time with her, get to know her better, not just in her city, but anywhere you want. That's what I call an import. I know one player went on a family trip with his fiancée, broke up with her, and returned from the family trip with an import. That's why most organizations have forbidden girlfriends, even fiancés, from flying on family charters anymore. They don't want to be in the adultery shuttle bus business.
Oh, that's funny.
Then he talks about second cell phones, how it gets to be so complicated having all these women that you need a second cell phone.
All the skanks are on this line, your wife's on the other.
You got it.
Yeah.
Most players keep a little black book like guys have been doing for years and years, but technology has changed this too. Nowadays, more and more players keep a separate cell phone in their locker, registered to a John Doe alias, which they use to call their girls. This kind of thing can get a little tricky. Some players have tried keeping 2 numbers registered on the same phone. Just punch in a special numerical code and the second number would pop out. I did that myself for a while, but I got caught with it. One day I called my second wife from the wrong number by mistake. She looked at the caller ID, saw it was a slightly different number, and realized what was going on. That was pretty dumb of me, and she wasn't too happy. Before I wrap on this matter on men, women, and baseball, there's one little matter I want to set straight. In general, I would say I've noticed very few side effects from my steroid use. I've had my system completely checked. I'm perfectly normal. And then he goes on to talk about how knowledgeable he is on steroids, and that's why. Lot more there. You know, I didn't mention a word about McGuire. He talks a lot about McGuire in here, and it really pisses him off that McGuire's Mr. All-American boy. And he said McGuire used to wear loose-fitting clothes, you know, anything to hide these bulging forearms muscles, and arms he was growing, and that McGuire was growing exponentially faster than Canseco was because he was doing more steroids, and the media were always talking about Canseco, and it really irritates him that he got smacked with the label, and everybody loved McGuire, and McGuire kind of knew he was untouchable. But he tells other stories. He was going 202 in his Testarossa once, and he got pulled over.
Brother. Good God.
He saw the cops, saw the lights go on, was debating whether to just run or not, and then he saw the cops up ahead, so he pulled over, and they told him he was going 202 miles an hour. And so they saw who it was, and then they just he let him take a drive in the car.
Oh, and then everything was great.
The car than the speeding ticket. Hey, Pat.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
How you doing?
Pat?
Pretty good. Back about 7 years ago, when the market was going great and people were making money hand over fist, Jose was on CNBC on the finance show.
Is that right?
Yes, and he had traded his house in Florida for stock from the CEO of the company of China.com, which was valued like $25 or $30 a share at the time.
Oh, boy.
Within 2 years, it was down to $2 a share.
No kidding.
Wow.
Jeez.
He took all stock for payment on that home.
Oh, man.
It was so funny because he was just bragging up a storm on CNBC in the morning about it, and within 2 months, his money was gone.
Oh, that's hilarious. He doesn't talk a lot about money. I haven't read much about money in this book. I'm sure it's coming, but thanks, Pat. He doesn't really talk a lot about it, but I knew he was offering people to spend the day with him. You could spend $2,500, and he literally would take you through a workout, take you water skiing, do whatever you want for $2,500.
He did it because he was under house arrest.
Was he under house arrest at the time? Is that what it was?
House, yeah.
But still, how many?
So he decided to make some money.
Who would do that? I mean, that's so ludicrous.
How many are under house arrest?
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Chris.
I worked for a moving company back in the 90s, and the company moved Canseco out of Texas when he got traded. And then when they moved the sofa, there was like 100 pairs of panties behind it. And he wasn't there, but his wife was. And I guess he was not pleased.
Ooh, was this Esther or Jessica?
I don't know. I wasn't on the move, but I talked to the guys that moved him.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Yep, sounds believable to me.
Yeah, me too.
What do you think of the book? Do you believe it, or do you think he's just trying to sell books? Or?
Well, I think both. I believe it, and I think he's trying to sell books.
I agree. Yeah. Thanks for the call.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think there's probably a lot of truth to this. I want to read some of the McGuire stuff because I think it's some of the most interesting stuff in the book. But we'll do that a little later. I don't want to bore people to death who aren't interested in it. And I don't know why Trot Nixon has come out to rag on A-Rod and say that he's not the Yankee type. When he thinks of the great Yankees, he thinks of Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, and Jorge Posada. He doesn't think of A-Rod. Well, I don't know why he doesn't think of A-Rod, but then he points out that real puss move when he hit the ball out of the guy's hand in the World Series. That was a really lame move. And oh boy, does Jose Canseco tear up A-Rod in his book. He can't stand him. He says he's the biggest phony. He says Cal Ripken's quite a phony too, and he criticizes him for staying in separate hotels from the team and traveling separately from the team, and said that was not just when the streak was approaching. That was going on for a long time. And I don't know, he just thought that was a real selfish kind of thing, and many, many, many other people would have taken heat for it. A-Rod does the same thing, and he constantly points out that he's not the saint that he projects, and I'm real curious I don't know what he's talking about, but I've got my ideas. Hey, quickly from the Jose Canseco.
Come on, this ain't Disneyland. Let's go.
The Canseco book, they got a little chapter on his cars, which I thought is so interesting. He talked about how athletes, of course, love fast cars, women, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he finally decided he wanted to get a Porsche, so he test drives his custom-built Porsche 911 Turbo Slant Nose.
Jeez.
Isn't that your dream car, Trudy?
No.
I thought you said a Porsche was your dream car for some reason.
No, actually, the XLR was, but...
Oh, the XLR? You like the XLR, too?
I love that
Isn't
car.
that cool?
Yeah.
God, that's cool.
Is that the one with the hard top?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go to Audette and then demand a demonstration of the hard top going down. You'll never see anything like it. Walter saw it.
Demand.
Actually, don't demand it. There's only like 4,000 of them in the world, so I don't know that they are always ready to put one, take the top down.
In there, Rob, I demand to see the top go down.
Yeah. If I don't see that, you're like a Farrah Fawcett. If you don't have your tequila shooter, you're not going to do another thing.
Anyway, he drives this 911, and he just had to have it, so he buys it. And then the next thing you know, this leads to a series of sports cars, a Ferrari, then he gets a Corvette, then a white Lamborghini came soon, then he gets a Jaguar in metallic red with 12 cylinders, a BMW. He says, at one point I had 12 cars.
Wow.
Soon after I met Jessica, who became my second wife, she came into Texas, and in the garage I had a 93 Testarossa, a Lamborghini, a white Ferrari, my 930 Porsche, not to mention the Chevy Suburban parked out in the street.
Good God.
When Jessica needed to drive to Arlington Stadium, my housekeeper Vera told her to take her pick. Just go in the garage, take one of the cars, and meet him at the game, she told Jessica. So she went in the garage, stood there looking at all these sports cars, turned back to Vera. I can't drive any of those cars. But Vera insisted, and she ended up driving my Porsche to the ballpark that night, and she did fine. At that time, I'd built up a nice collection of modified Porsches. I had one of them custom-made with 820 horsepower.
Oh, my God.
The car's on steroids, too.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Can you believe that?
My God.
That car was probably the fastest street-legal Porsche in the state of Florida, if not the whole United States.
I can't believe it's street-legal.
Yeah. I used to race motorcycles on the highway with that thing. I'd be out on I-75. Motorcycles would want to race me. They thought they would beat me easy, but that Porsche would do about 240 miles an hour. I'd be racing these motorcycles going almost 200 miles an hour in third gear, and they'd freak out. They couldn't believe how fast the car was. I took it up to 200 an hour once just to see if it could do it, but never faster than that. The fastest I've ever gone in a car was 202 miles per hour. Now, isn't Tracy Chapman just the most fitting piece of music to go along with the story?
It's just ideal.
That was my Lamborghini Diablo, which cost me $225,000 and had my license plate saying 4040.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, stupid.
Because he had 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases in the same year. He was the first player to do that.
Yeah, boy.
Once when I moved to... Yeah, Bonds did it. Once when I moved to Weston, Jessica and I took the car down I-75 in Florida, which was a new road back then. There were no cars out there. I wonder how fast the Diablo is, I started thinking. I wonder if I can really do 205 the way they said it, so I decided to find out. I took that Lamborghini up to 202. I remember watching the needle creep just past 200. The Diablo is wide and low, flat to the ground. The faster you go, the more you hug the road. It's basically a detailed race car and handles the speed like a dream.
Wow.
I hit 202, and suddenly we passed a cop. He flashed his lights at me. I didn't want to take any chance and was going to slow down. Listen, the only exit is only 3 or 4 miles up, Jessica said. Why not just keep going? Like an idiot, I listened to her. We kept going, blowing right out of the cop's reach, but only a mile further down the road, there were a bunch of cops waiting for me.
Oh, man.
I slowed down, but I was still going about 120 when I reached them.
Imagine how fast that must have been when
I know.
the first cop sitting there when he just screamed by. It must have been like, what? You know? Incredible.
So, anyway, these cops say, Mr. Canseco, we're not going to arrest you. We just want to see the inside of your car. The Lamborghini Diablo had just come out, and these young cops had never seen one. Here, take my car. Take a ride. Go ahead. You can do whatever you want. Apparently I could. These cops let me off the hook.
Oh, wow. Is he lucky?
Yeah, then he was racing somebody in the same car. And he had Frank Thomas in the passenger seat. They'd just done a card show. And it's interesting because he talks about pocketing the cash. And I'm thinking, hope the IRS doesn't read this book, Jose.
Yeah.
Not too smart.
Yeah.
Because there's people have done time for this.
Oh, yeah.
Got busted. Remember that?
I bet you a lot of people do it, though.
Anyway, he was racing let's see. Oh, no, he was driving his Ferrari. And he was racing 2 Porsches. And he had the Ferrari on the highway doing 130. I didn't realize up ahead the highway was turning right in the short side. Frank, sitting in the passenger seat, had a better view. Jose! Frank, I got it, I told him. Oh, bleep, he said. I downshifted and braked hard, and the Ferrari went into a spin. We almost hit the railing. But I pulled out of it easily enough, and once I did, I glanced over at Frank. I've never in my whole life seen such a big guy look so scared.
Oh, my God.
He was white, stone cold white, which is kind of unusual for a black man.
He must have seen his life pass before his eyes, really.
Pretty good stories, though, in this thing.
Oh, yeah, I love stories like that.
I got to tell you, this is a hard one to put down.